The United States should invest more in space exploration. When was the last time you looked at the stars? When you glanced at the heavens above, what went through your mind? How exciting would it be to actually travel to another world that is physical, not just created through technology or CGI? I think the United States is in a unique position to make that happen. Take, for instance, the space race with Russia. The United States was so involved in that they didn't want another country out there in space before them, that they invested heavily into these programs. And what came out was NASA, which I will get to in a bit. Now, space is divided into four sectors. We have civil, defense, intelligence, and commercial, with civil being all non-defense activities, and this is closely associated with the work that NASA and NOAA does. NOAA being the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration. So the creation of NASA was the single most important entity created by the U.S. government. In a report from thebalance.com from Kimberly Amadeo, since 1976, NASA has created over 1,400 inventions that later became products or services. The technological discoveries of NASA projects are still in use today, like CAT scans, GPS, solar panels, just to name a few. They're all really important things that we didn't know that we wanted or needed. Another major landmark that the United States was heavily involved with was the lunar landing. And it was another time that they invested heavily in this, and to great success. But unfortunately, reduced funding is limiting what we could be achieving with our technological advancement, especially the boom in this 21st century. Increased funding towards the space program will benefit generations of the future as much as it would the generations of today. A report by the Space Foundation estimated that activities related to space contributed $180 billion to economy in 2005. So this amounts to each dollar of NASA spending is a catalyst for $10 in the economy. And that's huge. Imagine how much more it would bolster if the United States helped back NASA a little bit more. Currently, the United States invests anywhere from 16 to 20 billion a year in NASA. So this means that there will be large economic benefits with this, as well as a long-term benefit from the government's aid in funding space research. But mostly it's relied on private companies to do this. Of those companies, SpaceX is revisioning what is possible with space technologies today. But also it's a private sector company. Their founder, Elon Musk, says that being a spacefaring civilization is all about believing in the future and thinking the future will be better than the past. And he can't think of anything more exciting than going out there and being among the stars, which is what we see in the news today. He's very enthusiastic about being the first human on Mars. Also, right now, increased Mars missions are helping us to understand what other worlds are like. If they harbor water, a similar atmosphere, similar geology, or even if they've at once hosted life. Now, imagine what it would be like to harness technology for the advancement of humanity on other worlds. Understanding how other planets and their moons operate could lead to further knowledge of our own Earth. We have a number of things through data collected through powerful telescopes, but ultimately we need more probes and more humans on these surfaces to ultimately see if life could be sustainable there. And one thing that is happening right now is an irreversible climate change, which is part of the reason the United States should start investing more into space research, just kind of like a backup plan. Now, the United States is often thought of as the leader of the free world. And with this being said, we as the people of the United States should strengthen the cause to discover what else there is in the universe to see. So, Educate yourselves or your children regarding the possibilities of the potential that space has for humanity. In a document released by NASA.gov, NASA and the National Science Foundation, in partnership with other federal agencies, have committed to White House-led efforts to strengthen education in science, technology, engineering, and math, STEM. And this is large. This is huge because it'll help bolster the imaginations of younger children and help reach for the stars more willingly. Also, in an article obtained by the International Business Times, space scientists are already simulating conditions of the red planet here on Earth. So it's not a matter of we're not trying to get there, it's just a matter of when. And hopefully the United States will be as ambitious as they were with the satellite race with Russia and the lunar landing. Maybe now with Mars, they will step up again, up to the plate, be the leader of the world, and ultimately let us find what else is out there. Realize that as a collective, people can enact change upon a government and bring prosperous change regarding the shape of humanity and its place in the cosmos.